There are stories that begin in silence and end in tears. Stories that remind us that a person's worth is measured neither by their clothes, nor by their bank account, nor by their origin. Today, I am going to tell you Awa's story. A story that will touch you to the very depths of your heart. Before we begin, take a second. If you love powerful stories filled with life lessons, subscribe, like, and share the video. Awa was 16 when she left her native village. A small dusty village, far from Dakar, where houses were made of red bricks and nights were lit by oil lamps. She was the eldest of 6 children. Her father was a farmer. Her mother sold vegetables at the market. But the harvests were getting worse. Debts were piling up. Stomachs were crying out from hunger. One evening, her parents made a difficult decision. A decision that broke Awa's heart without her showing it. You must go to the city. There, you will be able to work. You will be able to help us. She did not cry in front of them. She simply nodded. But that night, lying on her mat, she cried in silence. A few days later, she arrived in Dakar. The big city. Tall buildings. Luxury cars. The noise. The smell of gasoline. The contrast was brutal. The family who welcomed her was immensely wealthy. The father was a major import-export businessman. He traveled between Europe, Asia, and Africa. The mother managed several luxury product boutiques. They lived in a gigantic villa, with 5 bedrooms for the children, a huge living room, a modern kitchen, and a perfectly maintained garden. 5 children. Well-dressed. Well-fed. Well-educated. And then there was Awa. She was given a small room at the back of the yard, near the storage shed. She was given worn-out clothes. Her duties were explained to her: cleaning, washing dishes, doing the laundry, cooking, and watching over the younger children. She woke up at 5 a.m. She went to bed after everyone else. She did not eat at the table with them. She ate afterward, in the kitchen, the leftovers. At first, the children looked at her as if she did not exist. The mother was demanding. Very demanding. Awa, this floor is not clean. Awa, why isn't the laundry ironed? Awa, hurry up. Not a single thank you. The father, on the other hand, was often absent. When he was home, he talked business. He did not even notice the silent presence of the young maid. But Awa never complained. Every month, she sent part of her salary to her parents. She carefully kept the rest hidden in a small metal box. At night, sometimes, she would look up at the sky from the yard and whisper, "One day, my life will change." The months went by. She learned everyone's habits. The youngest was afraid of the dark. The second daughter hated spinach. The eldest dreamed of becoming a pilot. Despite the coldness shown to her, Awa developed a deep attachment to this family. One evening, she overheard the mother speaking to a friend on the phone. "Maids, they're all the same. If you don't watch them, they steal." Those words pierced her heart. She could have left. But she stayed. Because she needed the job. Because her family depended on her. Because she still believed that good always triumphs in the end. If this story is already touching you, take a second to subscribe, like, and share the video. One night, everything changed. It was around midnight when the mother got up to heat some water to make tea. She had the habit of waking up late to work on her accounts. That night, she seemed tired. She turned on the gas, placed the kettle on the stove, then her phone rang. She walked away. The conversation lasted a long time. And in her exhaustion, she forgot. She forgot to turn off the gas. The flame had gone out, but the gas continued to leak. Slowly. Silently. Invisibly. The house was asleep. The gas spread through the kitchen, then the living room, then the hallway. Around 4 a.m., Awa woke up. She was used to rising early. But this time, something was different. A smell. A strange smell. Strong, Suffocating. She frowned. Her heart began to beat faster. She gently opened the door to her small room. The air was heavy. Irritating. She had smelled that odor before in her village, when a neighbor's gas cylinder had leaked. Her blood ran cold. She understood immediately. Gas. Everything could explode at the slightest switch. At the smallest spark. She held her breath. She must not turn on the light. She walked slowly toward the kitchen. Every step felt like it lasted an eternity. She reached the stove. The knob was open. Her hands were trembling. She turned it off carefully. Then she opened all the windows, one by one. But the danger was still there. She ran to the parents' bedroom. She knocked softly at first. "Madam." "Sir, wake up." No response. She knocked harder. "There's a gas leak." "Wake up." The father opened his eyes, irritated. "What is it now?" But when he smelled the gas, his face changed. The mother jumped up suddenly. The children were still asleep. Awa ran from room to room. "Get out! Get out quickly!" She picked up the youngest child in her arms. They all rushed outside into the yard. Barely had they stepped out when a spark from the refrigerator triggered an explosion in the kitchen. A deafening noise. Flames. Screams. The neighbors rushed over. The firefighters were called. The fire was violent, but thanks to the quick response, it was brought under control before it could destroy the entire house. The family was alive. Alive, thanks to Awa. If she had not woken up. If she had turned on the light. If she had panicked. Everything could have disappeared in a matter of seconds. While the firefighters were finishing their work, the mother looked at Awa differently. For the first time, she truly saw her. Not as a maid. Not as an employee. But as a person. Like an angel. The children were crying. The youngest clung to her. The father walked up to her. His eyes were moist. "You saved us." Those words echoed in Awa's heart. The next day, the house was partially destroyed, but still standing. The family was shaken. The neighbors spoke of a miracle. And Awa? She was sitting quietly in the yard. The mother sat down beside her. "Why didn't you abandon us?" Awa lowered her eyes. "Because you are my family too." That was the moment when everything changed. If you believe that every human being deserves respect, subscribe, like, and share the video. The following weeks were different. Very different. They bought her new clothes. She now ate at the table with them. The children called her Big Sister Awa. The father opened a bank account in her name. He decided to increase her salary and pay for her evening classes. "You will not remain a maid your whole life," he told her. The mother, once cold, became gentle. One day, she gathered the whole family. "We almost lost our lives because I was careless. And we are alive thanks to the one we ignored for months. That will never happen again." Awa went back to school. She studied management and business. Years later, she became the manager of one of the family's companies. The little girl from the village became a strong, educated, and respected woman. But what impressed people the most was her heart. She never held a grudge. She often said, "A person's true worth is revealed in times of crisis." This story teaches us one essential lesson: never look down on someone because of their position. The person you ignore today might be the one who saves you tomorrow. Before we finish, if this story made you feel something deep inside, subscribe, like, and share the video. Because behind every simple uniform, there may be a silent hero. And sometimes, a family's guardian angel simply bears the name Awa.